We will start the regular press conference by Minister IWAYA. Minister, thank you for joining us. My initial remarks, there are 3 points. First of all, the new Pope, His Holiness Leo XIV, has been elected. In the local time, on the 8th of May, the new Pope, His Holiness Leo XIV, was elected. The government of Japan expresses our heartfelt congratulations. With about 1.4 billion Catholics as followers, the Vatican has a strong voice to send out messages to the international community. Japan will continue our effort to further develop our excellent relationship with the Vatican under the new Pope. Next is about Japan-India as well as Japan-Pakistan foreign ministerial telephone meetings. In light of the situation in Kashmir, on the 9th, I held a telephone conference with Indian Foreign Minister Jan Sankar. And just recently, I have also spoken on the phone with Mr. Dar, the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of Pakistan. During both of the meetings, first of all, I mentioned that terrorist activities cannot be justified for whatever reason, and I mentioned that we categorically deny any form of terrorism actions. And regarding what has happened in Kashmir, I mentioned what is important is fair investigation and the punishment of other perpetrators. I also mentioned that it is heartbreaking that the civilians have been killed on both sides, and children are also included in the victims. It is really, truly heartbreaking. And I mentioned my strong concern that it could invite further exchanges of retaliations and further escalation. In order to ensure peace and stability of South Asia, Japan will continue to call on both India and Pakistan to exercise self-restraint and to stabilize the situation through dialogue.
Lastly, on the Japan-Jordan Foreign Ministers meeting. After this, I am scheduled to meet with the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Foreign Affairs and Expatriates of Jordan, Minister Safadi. We will have a foreign ministers meeting. Jordan is the cornerstone of stability of the Middle East. It is an important partner for our country. With Minister Safadi, we are scheduled to confirm further coordination toward strengthening strategic partnerships between Japan and Jordan. And in addition, we will be further strengthening response to the Gaza situation and also coordination toward the two-state solution and long-term regional stability and peace. That is all for me.
Please raise your hand if you are invited. Come forward to the microphone, tell us your name and affiliation, and then ask your question. Sakaguchi-san, Kyodo. Sakaguchi, Kyodo. This is about the tariff measures by the United States. US and UK governments, I think it was yesterday, that they have reached agreement about the trade and tariffs. The U.S. says that they have agreed on reducing the tariffs for sectoral industries, and that I think it is in line with what Japan wishes to achieve in the negotiation. As U.S. tariffs has a global impact, what is your response that some agreements are coming out? On the other hand, 10% on the automotives, this still remains, and therefore I observe that the U.S. hardline attitude still remains. Toyota's business results has been expected to deteriorate. So how do you intend to continue the negotiation? Are you going to hurry to reach agreement? Thank you. According to the U.S. time, it is May 8. I am aware that the trade agreement has been announced between the United States and the United Kingdom. However, I would like to refrain on commenting about each and every piece of other countries' movement. At any rate, between US and Japan, we are both working on straightforward and constructive discussions, and we have agreed that we will try to reach agreement as soon as possible to enable our leaders to make an announcement. In light of the outcome of the bilateral consultation, we will continue to work in unity as a government as a whole and deal with this matter as a top priority and with our utmost effort. And if I say so, the situations and circumstances of respective countries are all very different, and therefore the schedule of the negotiation with the US or the timing or the contents of the agreement all would naturally be different. So, in the case of Japan, so far, on 2 occasions, Minister Akazawa has engaged in the bilateral talks, and towards a possible third talk, the government as a whole will work together to prepare. Thank you.
Next question, please. Nikkei, please. Baba-san. And Baba from Nikkei. China's infringement into our territorial waters. The Coast Guard helicopters violated our territorial air, and both countries have protested. And there are continuing approaches toward the territorial waters. On the one hand, with China, economic relationships are being improved. But on the other hand, I believe that military coercion is being strengthened. And so in order to avoid escalation, in what way should Japan approach China going forward? On the 3rd, in the territorial waters around the Senkaku Islands, China's Coast Guard vessels, 4 of them violated territorial water space, and one of the helicopters violated territorial air. It is extremely regrettable. On the same day, on the 3rd, we have strongly protested to China on the same day, on the 3rd, and we have strongly called for prevention of reoccurrence on the part of the government, people's lives, and protect properties and territorial waters, land and air. We will resolutely protect. Under this policy, we will be coordinating with other agencies with a high sense of tension, and we will continue to collect information, and we will do our best to foster violence and monitoring. There are many issues between us, but with the assumption that we will be coordinating with allies and like-minded countries based on mutually beneficial relationships based on common strategic interests. So we will promote that, and we will promote constructive and stable relationships and build that. That is the policy. Based on this policy, between Japan and China security dialogue, we will communicate in the area of securities, and we will further deepen communication in a broad range of areas to reduce pending issues and other challenges, and also increase cooperation and coordination. Next question, please.
Nakagawa-san, Chugoku Shimbun. Thank you, Nakagawa, Chugoku Shimbun. This is for the preparatory NPT committee. The government of Japan has compiled the joint statement on education. In the last statement, the devastating humanitarian consequences did not appear on this occasion. And I would like to ask your response about the recession of the expression on the devastation of atomic weapons. And on this occasion, the U.S. did not join the statement. What is your take, please? Thank you. The statement that you have mentioned, this mentions that the education on disarmament and non-proliferation is useful and effective in order to pursue the goal towards a world without nuclear weapons, and it also appeals to the international community about the promotion of education on disarmament and non-proliferation. The statement on this occasion mentions that this year is the 80th anniversary of the atomic weapons, and it also mentions that the accumulation of the knowledge, which is the devastating and multifaceted impacts and consequences resulting from the use of nuclear weapons in both short and long term has been a contribution to the education. And it also mentions that the invaluable testimonies of those who experienced or witnessed the devastation caused by nuclear explosion aftermath have played an indispensable role. And it also mentions that it must be encouraged to preserve the memories and to pass on to the future generations. And more than ever, multifaceted perspectives are included. And therefore, just because the expression different from the last time, I would not agree with your expression that the expression has gone backwards. And about the prior coordination behind the statement, I will refrain from talking about the details, and I think it is appropriate not to mention about any assessment about the responses of respective countries, but amongst the relevant countries, including the United States, we have confirmed that we will continue to work together towards next year's review conference. And by the way, the statement has been presented, and 96 countries have been present when this joint statement was presented, which is the largest number ever. So I would say that the momentum is rising, and I can say that Japan has been a positive contribution to this move.
Next question, please. Sushiro-san from Tribune News. My name is Sushiro from Tribune News. On Sunday, 4th of May, in the late afternoon, former Prime Minister Fumio Kishida visited the president's residence, Subianto's residence, and handed a personal letter from the Prime Minister Ishiba. And one of the items mentioned was the Asia Zero Emission Committee project related. And in the letter from Mr. Ishiba, what does it contain? Could you inform us of this, please? From the 3rd to the 5th, as Special Envoy of Prime Minister Ishiba, and also as the highest representative of the Asia ASEC Parliamentarian Union, former Prime Minister Kishida visited Indonesia. And in terms of the fact that he is the envoy, the delegation exchanged a personal letter and met with President Prabowo of Indonesia. As to the nature of this personal letter, it's a diplomatic exchange, so I would like to refrain from divulging the details. But in the meeting with President Prabowo, to further promote the cooperation of ASEC, it was explained that the Parliamentary Union for ASEC was formed for this purpose. That was explained. And also the resolve to further develop ASEC with Indonesia has been communicated. So I believe that this is related to the personal letter. That is what I assume. Thank you.
Yonezu-san, NHK. Yonezu, NHK. Related to what you mentioned at the beginning, which is about your telephone conference with Minister Dar of Pakistan. What did Mr. Dar tell you, and how did he explain about the position of Pakistan to the extent possible? Basically, this is diplomatic communication, so I will refrain from going into details. But according to what the government of Pakistan has made public comments, the minister explained in details in accordance with, in line with, what has been publicly announced by the government. At any rate, to India and to Pakistan, I am calling that the situation should be calmed down through a dialogue, and I have strongly communicated my position to both sides.
Kato-san, Asahi Shimbun, please. Kato from Asahi Shimbun. I'd like to ask about the passing of Professor Joseph Nye. After the passing of Mr. Armitage, Mr. Nye passed away, and he had a large influence on Japan-U.S. relations. And he advocated soft power, not relying on force, through culture and values. So what is your view on leveraging soft power under the present international situation? Professor Joseph Nye is someone I've met many times. And earlier, Mr. Armitage passed away. And together with Mr. Armitage, they issued the Armitage-Nye report several times. And I have directly met with them, and I have learned a great deal. So once again, I'd like to express my respects for the achievements up until now, and express my condolences. As for Professor Nye, as you said, soft power is a expression he coined, and that became deep-rooted because of Professor Nye. And Japan is such that its history, culture, and aside from that, the J-pop and the manga and others, and anime resonates with people worldwide. Every time I go overseas, this is something that I have directly felt. And so this is perhaps a form of soft power of Japan. That is what I feel. And so Professor Nye's teachings and guidance I would like to cherish. So going forward, we would like to fully leverage soft power and also communicate our culture to the world. Thank you very much. We would like to conclude the press conference at this point. Thank you.